so let's take a look at example 6. The first one is asking, what's the inverse tangent of the square root of 3? Okay, so we're looking for the angle that has a tangent value of square root 3. Well, again, I kind of like to visualize it. Now, I recognize square root 3 is involved with either a 30 or a 60 degree angle, right? Because one of them has a cosine of square root 3 over 2, the other one has a sine of square root 3 over 2. So we have to figure out, okay, which one of those has a tangent of square root 3? Okay, so we want the one that has, this is essentially, this tangent is sine over cosine. So I want the one with the square root 3 in the numerator. Okay, so I'm going to choose this one. The 60 degree angle has a sine of square root 3 over 2 and a cosine of 1/2, right? And so when I take the ratio of sine over cosine, you can see the 1/2s will cancel and you're left with a square root of 3. So this angle, which is pi over 3 or 60 degrees, has a tangent of square root 3. Okay, so we're looking for the angle that has a tangent of square root 3. All right, this is another example here where we're trying to emphasize the difference between the inverse tangent and the tangent to a -1 exponent. Okay, so so this one is just it's a tangent of the square root of 3, and then I'm just going to put my calculator in radians. Okay, in radians. Now I could do it in degrees. I get a different answer, but I'm just going to use radians. And when I put that into my calculator, I get minus 6.1475. And then this is to the -1 power, okay? Because now this -1 is in parentheses outside of the tangent. All right, so this indicates the reciprocal of this tangent of square root of 3. So when I take that to the -1 power, or basically taking the reciprocal of it, I get minus 0.16267. Okay, just using my calculator in radian mode. All right, so let's take a look at the next example. Here I'm looking for the angle that has a tangent of -1. Okay, so let's figure that out. So I'm going to look at the unit circle, and I'm restricted, my range, I'm restricted to angles between minus pi over 2 and pi over 2. Okay, so it's always going to be a an angle in that half of the circle. So then I have to figure out what quadrant has negative tangent values. So I know that tangent is sine over cosine, so the tangent values in quadrant 1 are positive. Down here in quadrant 4, the tangent values are negative. And I know a tangent value of 1 is 45 degrees, so a tangent of a -1 has to be down here at -45 degrees, right? -45 degrees, okay? And so that corresponds to a value, an angle of minus pi over 4, which is a -45 degrees. All right. Let's take a look at this one here. Now, again, this is kind of the same problem, only now the exponent this is an exponent. It's not an inverse, right? So we put it in parentheses and put the exponent on the outside if we want the reciprocal of that tangent value. So I'm just going to put it into my calculator and in radian mode, and I get -1.5574 to the -1. And then the reciprocal of that is -0.6421. Okay, so just be aware of the difference. Be aware of the difference between the inverse tangent and tangent to the -1 power. All right, well, I'll meet you in the next video.